24:24. And David meets Araunah and says, God asked me to build an altar. Now he had to pay back, he had to be thankful to God. So he meets Araunah and he says he wants to buy the threshing floor, the oxen and all that, and he wants to build an altar and offer sacrifices to God. So Araunah is also a prosperous man. He has high regards for David. I said 24:24 2 Samuel. So Araunah says, take all this. You're a mighty king. And he says, take it. So David says, I will buy it for a price. I will not offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God. That cost me nothing. So David brought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. Although he was offered free, David says he cannot just take it, what is given free to me, and offer it to the God. How many of us can say this today? It's important to follow this. He says, I will not give to the Lord which cost me nothing. So we have to think we are not to give our second best to God. We have to give the priority, the best of our best to God. So after purchasing, David purchases, he does sacrifice, he builds an altar, and this was not an ordinary altar. Thereafter goes to become the temple of Jerusalem. When we read 2 Chronicles chapter 3 verse 1, Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to David, his father, at the place that David had appointed, on the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. Over here in 2 Samuel, it was Araunah. The name was named as Araunah. Over here in 2 Chronicles, it says it's written as Ornan. So this name could be a title. He was a wealthy, prosperous man. Whatever it could be, Araunah or Ornan, however we call it, it says this is the place where Solomon builds his temple. Now, why did God choose this particular place? From the beginning, God had told Moses they had moving tabernacle that time, during the time of Moses. Later, God has been saying he has chosen place for his dwelling. When we read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 5, it says, But you shall seek the place that the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribes to put his name and make his habitation there. There you shall go. So from the time of the book of Deuteronomy, God has been saying he will seek a place for building his temple. So here we see in this place, Solomon builds temple. And for years, all we're waiting all along, even David didn't know where the temple had to be built. David himself was waiting. From young, he was waiting, where is the Ark of the Covenant? His heart was for it. When we read the book of Psalms, 132, verse 3 to 5, David says, I will not enter my house or get into my bed. I will not give sleep to my eyes or slumber to my eyelids until I find a place for the Lord, a dwelling place for the mighty one of Jacob. So this was the heart of David. But he didn't know where he had to do it. And finally, he found the threshing floor of Araunah, a Jebusite. So it was a time again God has been saying he is the God of Jews and Gentiles. He has come to give salvation to everyone. He says there's again another point here. Jewish people at that time, they wouldn't allow any Gentiles to come to their temple. It was only meant for Jews because they believed they are the consecrated people. That what was God's heart. God blessed Abraham. He says, I will bless the whole world through Abraham. That was the heart of God. So here God says Solomon's temple, which is God's dwelling place, will not only be in Jerusalem, it will also be told that it is of a Jebusite. So God is a God of equality. His heart is for all of us. I always see Bible, the word of God, God has love and mercy and grace. We are all just equal in front of him. So he built the temple for generations and it was there. Later we see Nebuchadnezzar captured it, rebuilt it, and then we see about Nehemiah comes, he rebuilt it. Finally, after years, there is no temple now. Ultimately, the plan of God was not to live in the temple made by man's hand, but God had a better plan. God wanted to be in the temple in the heart of you and me. And that was the mystery, the whole plan of God. We are the moving tabernacle for today. We are the temple of God as per New Testament. So chapter 22. So this is all the details about David and Solomon's temple. So First Chronicles chapter 22, it goes on, then David's preparation for the temple. David shows David earnestly preparing for the construction of the temple that his son Solomon will build. He amasses a great amount of materials and instructs Solomon in the Lord's decrees and how to lead the people in reverence to God. So he works very hard and committed. Chapter 28, we see David's charge to Israel and Solomon. David gathers the officials of Israel and addresses them. He shares his heart about wanting to build a temple for God and how God chose Solomon for this task.